Everyone, and welcome to the MSW Rising Stars 9-Ball Tournament 2025. I'm Cannon, your host for today's exciting opening. We're thrilled to have everyone here, players, guests, and fans, as our Rising Stars battle it out on the tables for pride, honor, and amazing prizes. But before we begin the games, let's hear some welcome remarks from our tournament director. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Dennis Po.
Hello guys, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in here at the MSW Rising Stars 9-Ball Tournament. And for our first match, we'll be featuring Tristan Deocareza versus Rayniel Salinel. So we have lots of prizes for our players. Top 32 will be receiving cash prizes already up to the champion. Champion will receive 100,000 pesos plus a trophy from MSW. So guys, enjoy the night. Enjoy lots of pool action only here at MSW Rising Stars 9-Ball Tournament.
Thank you very much. And of course, before we start this match, of course, we'd like to do a quick recap of the rules that will be in effect. So let's get those rules started. So the game is 9-ball, standard rules with winner's break format. Using a triangle rack, the 9-ball will be racked on the foot spot, while the cue ball will be fixed on the head spot. The winner of the lag will get to break first, then no cut breaks are allowed, and if a cut break occurs, the opposing player has the option to take the shot. Now, upon breaking, 4 balls minus any pocketed balls should make contact with a rail. Otherwise, the opposing player will have the option to take the shot. In addition, jump cues are not allowed, although cue extensions will be allowed. And the cue ball cannot jump higher than a full ball. In addition, the referee's decision is final. So let's all play fair and enjoy the great matches throughout the tournament. So before we start, we'd like to wish everyone the best of luck. And remember, play hard, play fair, have fun. And to quote my friend Kelvin Nanyong, let the battle begin!
Hello everyone and welcome to the first ever MSW Rising Stars 9-Ball Tournament. We're super excited to have you all here today. Ang event na to ay nabuo dahil naniwala kami sa galing at potensyal ng mga Pinoy billiards players. The Philippines has produced some of the world's greatest at alam nating marami pang young talents na naghihintay lang ng chance para makilala. Through this tournament, gusto namin mabigyan ng platform ang mga bagong players para mag-shine, ma-develop ang skills nila at makapaghanda sa next level. Maybe one day, representing the Philippines on the world stage. With the support of the Sharks Billiards Association at ng Games and Amusements Board, confident kami na nasa tamang direksyon tayo and that the future of Philippine billiards is brighter than ever. Sa MSW, proud kami to support Filipino sports at lahat ng athletes na patuloy na nagbibigay inspirasyon. Kaya sa lahat ng ating Rising Stars, ibigay nyo ang best nyo, enjoy the game, at panatilihing buhay ang Filipino pride. Good luck to everyone, and let's make this tournament one to remember.
All right, so if you are joining us, this is the MSW Rising Stars Tournament 2025, and you are seeing there our first 2 combatants on the TV table. That's Tristan Deocareza taking on Rayniel Salinel. So these 2 players, highly talented, very hardworking, and they are ready. So looks like Tristan Deocareza won the lag, and it means he will be breaking next to start off this match. And by the way, of course, that break is brought to you by MSW, Mega Sports World, the #1 choice of the serious sports bettor, and an official sponsor of this tournament. And of course, we'd like to remind everybody that they are the official gaming partner of the SBA, so they will be there making the SBA Season 2 happen this November 10, so don't forget to tune in for that. So in the meantime, this is your host and commentator, the Great White Shark Cannon Dairy, holding court here. And of course, we want to thank you for joining us. So Tristan Deocareza coming up dry on the break. And Rayniel Salinel, oh, I might have left it open, but that's going to be a tough shot for Tristan. He's going to have to consider leaning over. It's going to be a little awkward. He's going to get the bridge. Try and bridge over here. Has to be careful not to contact the ball. Has to be very careful. Ooh, hit that little thin, causing the ball to move away from the rail. And looks like Rayniel's gonna have a pretty wide open layout here if he can handle it. We're gonna have to see. And this is a race to 9. So whoever gets this first rack is going to get off to a good start. Doesn't look like he has to do a whole lot here. So he's gonna try and go for the 7, I would think, to the same pocket. There you go, nice play. Avoiding the scratch. And try to draw it back, get position for the 8. Off the top rail, very nicely done. And Rayniel Salinel looking good to get the first rack and be a step closer to advancing. Rayniel Salinel picks up the first rack, and that's a good start for him. And we'll be back with rack number 2 in just a moment and see if Rayniel Salinel can keep it going. Right, we're back, and Rayniel Salinel picking up the first rack, and it's going to be Salinel breaking in just a moment. So our referee, Mario Bautista, just setting up the balls, wants to make sure that the rack is ready. And of course, we're going to find out if Rayniel Salinel can keep it going, because we know that Tristan Deocareza is a threat at any level himself. He's not someone you want to take lightly. And of course, that break is brought to you by MSW Mega Sports World, the official gaming partner of the SBA and the #1 sportsbook of the serious sports bettor. Salinel setting up for this one. This layout looks pretty good. It's just gonna have to go off the bottom and side rails. Ooh. All right, dodged the bullet there on that 8. But that 8 was a lot closer than he wanted to. He wanted to be there. Fortunately for him, clears it and leaves him a path for the 2. He's probably gonna go for the 3. The same. Oh, pocket, but that's not gonna help his cause. Oh boy. Alright, Tristan will probably be playing defense here. I mean, if he can tuck it in behind the, I believe that's a 7 ball, that would be a very good way to get some defense here. Or play opposites there. Well, he's not left him an easy shot. This is going to be an interesting result here. We're going to see what happens. Well, Rayniel went for the bank, but I'm not sure that was the best option. But at any rate, it's still a very good outcome for him because he left. He's going to be forcing Tristan Deocareza to go 2, possibly 3 rails for an escape here. And that's going to be a foul. I mean, that was a tough angle to get out of in the first place. So what we're looking at here, this is going to be an interesting layout. I think what Rayniel's going to try to do is if he can knock in this 2 and then bring it back so he can get position for the 3 near the bottom rail, that would be a great way to go about it. That's it. Perfect. Taking advantage of the foul. Rayniel's just double checking his angles here. Would have wanted it a little closer, maybe a little flatter, but it's not a bad result considering everything else here. Especially since Rayniel's going to want to continue the momentum he has against Tristan Deocareza, one of the one of the revelations in season 1 of the SBA. Oh, he's not happy with that. He has to keep the pressure on, so he's going to try and hide. Oh, that is nice. Very nice. Simple but effective safety here, forcing Tristan Deocareza to take the long way. At least 1 rail, maybe 2. A foul again. I believe that's his second, I'm not sure, but that's definitely going to put a lot of pressure on him. Although with a wide open layout like this, Rayniel should not have too many problems running this out. Just a little bit of connect the dots here. 8 to the bottom left, 9 to the top right. Just bring it near the center of the table. The 9 should be easy peasy right here. There it is. Rayniel Salinel starting off strong with 2 consecutive racks, and we'll be back with rack number 3 right after this quick break. Rack number 3 is on its way, and Rayniel Salinel just off to a hot start. And the question is, can Rayniel make it 3-0? Or will Tristan Deocareza have an awakening and make this match just that little bit more interesting? We're about to start the third rack of this encounter here. Again, two highly regarded players here. Tristan Deocareza, aka Tining, and Rayniel Salinel. I believe the assassin, if I got that correct, yeah. Well, we're gonna find out if the assassin can keep the pressure on Tining Deocareza, or if Tristan can somehow, some way, get himself back in this match. And that break right there is brought to you by Mega Sports World, the official gaming partner of the SBA and the #1 sportsbook of the serious sports bettor. That's MSW Mega Sports World. All right, Tristan Deocareza has an opportunity here. He's got an open shot. That 2 though is going to be a challenge. He might have to play safe, or if he wants to go aggressive, he can go for the combination. But first, that 1 had to go down, and sadly, the pockets not allowing him that opportunity there. So while we are battling it out here on this table again, this is day 1 of the qualification rounds here. And we are broadcasting live from the break room, billiards and bar, located here along Commonwealth Avenue, Barangay Holy Spirit, Quezon City. And of course, this will be our home for the next couple of days. That's going to be also tomorrow. And then the championship finals will take place on the 15th, and that will be at the Sharks Arena and Sports Bar, located along Tomas Morato in Barangay South Triangle, Quezon City. Nice shot there on that play. Rayniel starting to put the pressure on, which is exactly what he should do, because again, let's be honest, Tristan Deocareza can easily make him pay, but so far, Deocareza has been slow getting out of the gate. He hasn't been able to get that momentum he's wanted so badly. Well, I'll be holding court for the meantime here because Kelvin's taking care of some other stuff here. But in the meantime, it's Salinel taking care of business here. So definitely that 4 into the bottom right pocket. Gonna go off the rail to get position for the 5 into the opposite pocket. Beautifully done. And then may do just the same thing to get position for the 6, I believe. Yep, the 6 in the 7 up in the top right pocket. Perfect. Just a little angle will do you. Gonna put a little draw, I would think. Maybe a touch of right even on that one. Oh, okay, there he is. Gonna put some low spin on that to bring it back towards the 8. Perfect. And then for Salinel, this should be a pretty straightforward one. We'll just probably go off the bottom rail and bring it towards the 9. Nice, gentle pace right there. So we will try to update you with the outcomes of the other matches on the tables as they happen. But since all the matches have started pretty much the same time, might be a while before we find out if anyone has already advanced. But if Rayniel Salinel keeps this up, he might be one of the first to advance here. And Rayniel Salinel smoking start here. 3-0 is the score. And we're going to find out if Tristan Deocareza can battle back after this. Just when we thought Tristan Deocareza was about to pull away with that rack, miss on the 8 cost him. That's why Rayniel Salinel is still very much in control at this point. Again, if you just tuned in, this is the MSW Rising Stars 9-ball tournament 2025. That break, by the way, brought to you by MSW, Mega Sports World, the official gaming partner of the SBA, and the #1 sportsbook of the series Sports Better. Now, Tristan Deocareza doesn't have as friendly a layout as he did earlier, but he might just be able to navigate this. Ooh, this one's close. Okay, that was good. Well, maybe not as good as he was hoping. He was trying to land it in that narrow gap to get position for the 2, but his only hope here is a containing safety. But if there's one thing about Rayniel that you cannot underestimate, it's his ability to just go on a tear. Question is, has he left an opening for Tining? And he just might have done that. Oh man, he put a lot of power in that one. Good job. Now he's left himself a shot on the 3, I believe. To the side or top left. Yeah. Try to bring it back for the 4. That's perfect. Nicely played. And this is where Tristan has shown on his own. He knows how to get the job done. He just needs to be very, very focused and careful here because, again, he does not want to have to go through a bigger deficit than he already has. 4 racks down. He can't let this deficit swell anymore. Alright, he's got so far the control. And of course, our MSW ladies looking on as well, watching to see if Tristan Deocareza can finally get himself a rack. And well, I'm not sure that's where he wanted to be, but then again, he does have room for the 8 and 9 to go in the same pocket. So he just has to be careful here. Giving it a bit of left, I think. Oh, he went for the thin cut. Oh man, that was not... I'm not sure I would have gone with that one, but I would have thought just go for the 8 and 9 in same pocket would have been less complicated, but Tristan Deocareza leaving an open opportunity here for Rayniel Salinel to clean up. That's 5-0. And Salinel already halfway up the mountain. And the big question for Tristan Deocareza is, can he mount a rally? Well, we're going to find out in just a moment. This match so far has been just as much about Rayniel Salinel's skill as it has been about the misfortune that has plagued Tristan Deocareza so far. I mean, even if Tining does attempt a comeback here, it's gotten a lot harder because that deficit, five racks in a five rack deficit in a nine rack race, that is huge. That break over there brought to you by MSW Mega Sports World, the official gaming partner of the SBA and the number one sports book of the serious sports bettor. Oh, definitely hit that one a little too thin. And Rayniel Salinel again at the table. And just to be clear, Rayniel Salinel, not to take anything away from him, he actually has played very solidly in this match. But at least two to three of those racks have come by way of an error by Tristan Deocareza in the last two to three balls. And that's not really helped his cause here. Ooh. On the other hand, Dining getting lucky, not unluckier there. And Rayniel Salinel somehow leaving him in bad shape. Question is, will he have hidden it? I don't think he has. I think that's enough room for Salinel to start waxing hot if he can. Dining de Jerez forced to sit from the sidelines and watch. He can't be happy with this. But it's really just the way things are in a game like this. Now let's see. He's going to go knock this in. Follow it. Let it go off the rail. Maybe give it some top left so that it'll go a bit up table. And get him positioned for the 5, I would think. Ooh. That is one risk there. If you're not careful to compensate, that can happen. And Tristan Deocareza now has a mission. Get himself a rack and reestablish that confidence that he's had when he's playing at his best. He's going to need it. This shouldn't be too difficult. Might need to just play off the top rail here. Might just need to play off the bottom rail here. Or if he decides to play this softer, might be able to keep it near the center of the table. Right, using the bottom rail and the right side. Just gonna hit this with some draw so that he can get the 9 in the same pocket. First rack for Tristan Deocareza and very much needed because he is down by 4. But we'll be back to see if this is the beginning of the comeback of Tining. Well, good news for Tristan Deocareza fans. Tining picks up his first, and if he can keep this going, if he can do some break and runs, which we know Tining can do, then he may yet reverse the tide of fortune and have it head his way. That break is brought to you by MSW Mega Sports World, the official gaming partner of the SBA and the #1 sportsbook of the serious sports bettor. Dry break for Tining. And Rayniel Salinel doesn't have the easiest shot on this one. I mean, if that angle to the side pocket's too tight, he can choose to play a safe. So, let's see here. So, of course, let's do a quick update here. So, on table number 7, the bad koi, Johan Chua, advances as he decimates Martin John Santeco by a score of 9. Is this 9-1? I want to make sure I get this correct. But definitely the winner here. Yeah, it's a demolition job there, yeah. So congratulations to the bad koi, proving that he is, without a doubt, one of the top seeds here, I would think. What a performance there. I mean, Martin John Santeco still got one rack, though. To be fair, if I got one rack against the bad koi, I'd probably be a very happy man. But Johan Chua just proving he is on a different level. One of the best players we have in the country right now. Taking part. Again, congratulations to Johan. So, we're going to see if the bad koi can make it just a little further into this. Rayniel Salinel trying to get himself. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes the pool gods like when they like you, they like you. Oh wow. That's something. Here's the thing, he's probably gonna go for a bank as well here, or at least try to play this as a two-way, and I would play it that way. Well, if Tining can battle back here, then his hopes may still be alive, but I'm not sure he wanted to leave that for Salinel. But man, that 5-0 hole from earlier, definitely going to be a mentally tough shot. There we go. Salinel taking on this one. Decides to put some space. Going for the distance. And while it is an open shot, because Tining is so close to the rail, that's going to make this shot to the floor a lot tougher. He'll try to get lucky by hiding it. Oh, nicely done. Looks like Salinel has a wall staring him down as he tries to get that 4 ball. Again, jump cues not allowed. Jump shots are not allowed. So he's going to have to go off the rails for this one. Oh my goodness. Again, 2 shots in this rack for Rayniel Salinel. 2 kicks that have miraculously gone into that lower left pocket. And I'm not sure what Rayniel is smoking, but whatever he's smoking, I'd like to have that. But seriously, wow. Just 2 shots this rack alone off of miraculous kicks that have gone down. You can still see there contacts that one. Tried to hide it, but Tining might still. Yeah, okay, he can't see it directly. He's gonna have to play the bank. The kick as well. Oh, Tining tried that as well. Nearly got that down. And again, the rule here for 9-ball is pretty standard. As long as the ball goes down in a legal shot, it's gonna count. So there's an element of luck that applies here as well. I mean, it's somewhat less demanding, but the fact that luck comes into the thing, there are some who prefer 10-ball because it lessens the chances of luck being a factor. And Tristan Deocareza, wow, that is delicate. Perfectly done. Tining just went wild there. That's a beautiful play. Well, Tristan Deocareza, he's going to need every rack he can to stay alive. So far, he's doing what he can. That risky cut on the 5 earlier into that side pocket working in his favor. And now, rack number 2 for Tining, if he gets this. Tristan Deocareza cutting that deficit down to 3 racks, and we're going to see whether the comeback goes all the way. So while we are waiting for this rack to start again, Tristan Deocareza has been doing the damage here. And by the way, that break is brought to you by MSW Mega Sports World, the official gaming partner of the SBA and the #1 sportsbook of the serious sports bettor. By the way, over on Facebook, we want to give a quick shout out from Bo Belonia, who says hello to the break room family. So, magandang gabi sa iyo, Bo, and salamat sa pagbati sa atin. Pagsunod syempre dito sa ating laban na ito. And again, it's Tristan Deocareza having to play out. Ooh, that's going to be a foul, I think. Yep. And our referee, Mario Bautista, is going to have to, well, making sure that the ball is all good. And the question, of course, is where does Rayniel Salinel go from here? Well, the problem is that the shot on, I believe that's I believe that's a 4. The 4-9 is going to be a bit of a challenge. Nice job. Beautifully done. So Rayniel spotting the problem and saying, okay, let's get that out of the way. He's looking. Frees up the 2. Good job. So all he has to do, he's looking now. What he wants to do is the 3, though, is going to be a bit of a challenge here because the 3 lying on the opposite rail. There you go. Salinel just freeing himself up beautifully. Now the angle looks a bit sharp here. So he's looking at it. The cut of these pockets can be deceptively challenging. And again, for those who are asking, yes, Johan Chua advances with a score of 9-1 against Martin John Santeco. So he's definitely in. Now the question is, can Johan Chua become one of the final players to come in? So let's see. Rayniel Salinel thinking of going to the side for this one. Okay, nicely done. Avoids. Avoids that. By the way, we're also getting an update here. So, Drasir Mauricio, one of the players from the finalists Manila MSW Mavericks last season, wins by a score of 9-5 over Melchor de la Cruz Jr. So the score is 9-5 in favor of Drasir Mauricio, meaning that the pretty fly white guy advances to the next round. Well, to the next part. But seriously. So that's gonna be good news for him. Well, Rayniel Salinel trying to play a safety battle here because he knows that Tristan Deocareza is starting to swing the momentum his way. Nicely hit there. Deocareza, however, has left Rayniel Salinel with an opportunity, and the big question here for Rayniel Salinel, can he take advantage and hold off Tining from becoming the pain in the neck here? Oh, nicely done. Very good. Well controlled. And Rayniel will try to build that deficit back up to 4. Good job there by Rayniel Salinel. And we'll be back to see if Salinel can get a good break or if Tristan Deocareza can upend with a surprise. And we are back. So, Rayniel Salinel taking advantage off of that safety force on Tristan Deocareza. And, well, I'm not gonna lie, this is just getting to be a deeper hole for the man called Tining. He's not gonna be happy with this, but obviously he knows he has to make something happen. And this is going to be a very, very interesting situation if Tining is somehow able to force this to go to the hill or at least make a comeback. By the way, that break is brought to you by MSW Mega Sports World, the official gaming partner of the SBA and the number one choice of the serious sports bettor. Tristan Deocareza sees that one. And will he leave himself a shot on the two? From what I can see here, it looks like the two will pass. The seven on its way to the top left pocket. So the question here for Tristan is, can he control it? I think that's not what he wanted. He did not want that, but he'll take it. Oh, it's a foul. And Rayniel Salinel back on the table. This has been a frustrating night for Tristan Deocareza. He cannot be happy that he's been forced to just hack his way through here against, to be fair to him, a lot of shots that haven't gone his way. And combined with the scratches, well, the fouls, yes, that Rayniel Salinel has managed to put him in. That's the tough situation. And Rayniel, meantime, has been making lemonade out of the lemons he's been getting from Tristan Deocareza. He has to just keep this pressure up to get to the next round. All right. Now the question for Salinel. Does he go for the side or does he go for the bottom left? So if we're taking a look here, we're going to find out. Yeah, I think he might be going for the side. He's looking at the angle. It's a sharp angle, but it's not impossible. Perfectly played. That was the key shot for him because he needed that to reestablish position for the 7, 8, and 9. And at this point, looks like he's got himself in great shape. Salinel pulling out his extension because he needs to get into shape. We're going to find out in just a moment if he can get to his 7th rack. But it's looking more and more like that. Rayniel Salinel is still tearing it up. He's now up 7-2. Only 2 racks separate him from advancing against Tristan Deocareza. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go away. Rayniel Salinel is on the hill in this race to 9, and Tristan Deocareza has a long, long climb going his way here. This is going to be a rough ride here if Tristan Deocareza can pull it off. But Rayniel Salinel so far has been doing the right things. Putting pressure on Tristan Deocareza. He's been forcing Tining to just play his defense. As we mentioned, Tining just needs to get an opening. By the way, that break, of course, is brought to you by MSW Mega Sports World, the official gaming partner of the SPA and the #1 sportsbook of the serious sports bettor. Alright. Not sure he wanted that bump. Then again, I think he can still manage this. It's just going to make preparing for the 3 just slightly trickier. But if I know Tining, he isn't going to give up just yet. Alright, bumped into that 8, but it leaves nice position for the 4. Oh, another one, but to be fair, Tining got away with a safety. And I'm guessing that Rayniel's going to be looking at least a 1-rail kick from the bottom. But this is going to be crazy. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Ooh. Millimeters there. And that's a foul. And Tristan Deocareza welcoming that opportunity. Well, we know Tining, he can play at a pretty rapid pace. Although this might be the time for him to actually slow down and not let the pressure of this go in. Oh no! A foul. He's lost that. And looks like looks like it's a foul there, and it looks like Tristan Deocareza has conceded, I believe. We're going to double check the result there. So Rayniel Salinel defeats Tristan Deocareza by a score of 9-2. I mean, Tining put up a fight, but at the end, Rayniel Salinel just had things rolling his way. So that means we're going to find out. We're going to check who his next opponent is. So again, Rayniel Salinel advances to the next round along with Johan Chua, who defeated Martin John Santeco by a score of 9-1. Then Drasir Mauricio, who advances to the next round by defeating Melchor de la Cruz Jr. of a score of 9-5. And Henrik Togiles advances, defeating Rafi Alferez by a score of 9-3. And also, quick update here. Paulo Galito edges out John Vincent Vicedo by a score of 9-7. And this match is, and this is a pretty interesting table here. So far, we already have 5 players who advanced. So, we'll be having a quick interview with Rayniel Salinel, who won this first match on the TV table. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're gonna also see if we can find out who's next on the TV table. Just give me a moment, please. So, we have ended our first match on the TV table as Rayniel Salinel defeats Tristan Deocareza by a score of 9-2, and he advances to our next round. So again, congratulations sa'yo, Rayniel. Nagpakitang gilas ka ngayon at saka syempre alam naman natin bigating kalaban naman si si Tining. Hindi rin siya nagpapatalo pero ano yung napansin ko parang maganda yung momentum mo ngayon ano yung naging sekreto mo ngayon na parang napakaganda kahit pa ng laro mo na parang na-neutralize mo kahit pa paano si Tining.
Sa totoo lang, bago ako pumunta rito, alam ko na magagaling talaga yung mga kalabang ko eh. Kumbaga, sa akin, kahit sino ng kalabang ko, basta ilalaro ko yung laro ko, yun lang. Kaya nung lumamang ako ng marami, kumpiyansa na ako ng marami, na relax na ako. Iingatan ko na lang, hindi na dapat ako pwede magpabaya dahil once na magpabaya ako, pag nakadikit yun, sigurado, i-statin ako nun.
Napansin ko nga na medyo conservative nga yung laro mo, maingat ka. Pero at the same time, nagpakita ka nga na hindi lang hindi ka na aggressive ka sa una tapos lumaki lamang mo, tapos medyo sinswerte ka na, sabi mo, sige, pace mo yung sarili mo. So, yan yung naging tactic mo talaga na, sige, lamang na ako. Huwag ko nang madali masyado.
Hindi ako, kahit lamang ako, hindi ko pwedeng pabayaan eh. Kaya kahit lamang ako marami, iniingatan ko pa rin.
Yun. So, ngayon mukhang so at least pasok ka na sa next round natin. So, anong maasahan natin sa laro mo ngayon? So, what can we expect more of yung nakita natin sa'yo na ganun pa rin ang approach mo?
Sana nga, ganun pa rin mamaya. Sa kasunod na kalaban ko, sigurado magaling din yung kasunod kong kalaban. Gagawin ko lang ulit yung best ko. Yung laro ko, lalaro ko lang ulit. Ganun lang kanina. Ganun pa rin.
Yun. So, sige. So again, congratulations to Mr. Rayniel Salinel who advances to the next round. So coming up next here on our TV table, it's gonna be the bad ko Johan Chua taking on Mr. Lito Lapid himself, Raymar Kamomot, and we will be right back with that match after this.